What up, everybody? What up, everybody? What up, everybody? I will be there shortly. All right, everybody, let me get to the spot. Let me get to the spot. Let me get to the spot. Look at this. Oh, my goodness gracious. Brings back some great memories. Now, this is not an official professional baseball. I got this from my high school. But what we're going to talk about today is chapter 3, and it has a lot to do my baseball career. I'm going to touch on it a little bit, but it has a lot to do with that. But welcome, everybody. This is Plan Your Greatness. I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton, and I love how I'm able to get into these shirts. Oh, man, it just feels so beautiful. But, okay, real quickly, I always have something in the background that's kind of relevant. Like if you see right behind me, you can see my poster right here of when I was pitching. And there's my college degree. And this is a little bit of the vision board here in the office. But I have something over here on the shelf. For those of you that follow baseball, I'm in order. This ball, let me see, hold on a second. Let me get the camera right there, catch it. All right, this ball right here, that is the very first ball that I used in a professional game. Came in for relief, and you can see it's written on the ball. I pitched 2 1/3 innings. I had 4 strikeouts. I gave up 2 hits, no runs. I'm not sure if I got the save or if I got the win. I can't remember if we were tied and I came in and we took the lead, or we were leading and I held them for old school save. 2 1/2 innings. Unheard of nowadays. Nobody does that. Getting saved like that. This ball right here, that has Vita Blue's signature on it. You can't see on the other side. I actually have Bob Gibson's signature on the other side. This ball right here has Sandy Koufax's signature on it. Now, for those of you millennials who don't know who the heck those are, look up Vita Blue, look up Bob Gibson, look up Sandy Koufax. I was actually projected as a bigger, taller version of Vita Blue. So just a little bit of reminiscing with baseball and particularly what we're talking about this chapter. Okay, we're going through every chapter in the book. We did chapter 2, now we're doing chapter 3. Chapter 3, the title is What, Why, and the Imagination. Oh, hold on a second. I always do the weigh-in. I am down to 240, like somewhere between 243, 244. I'm hovering right around that area. So, I mean, think about it. I can go back in the office. I'm probably going to take a picture of it. In the office, in the area where we do workshops and everything, there is a whiteboard. And I started at the very corner of the whiteboard and started doing this little countdown. And you see in the very corner of the on the whiteboard where it starts at 268. And so now it's all the way down to 243. I was in the office earlier today and I just wrote the 243 in there. So I have officially lost 20 pounds. As far as technically, I've lost 25 pounds, but I'm just saying I know I've lost at least 20 pounds. And, technically I've lost 25 pounds. So I'm very proud of myself, staying disciplined. And this will even talk about some of the discipline I was getting at. But again, this is chapter 3, and I'm going to try to run through this quickly because a lot of times I'll get a little winded, get a little chatty, and I'll end up going way over the 20 minutes. All right. So what, why, and your imagination. I did some videos which broke down the what, the why, and imagination, and I was pulling from chapter 3. But what I'm going to do is just go over some other little things that are in this chapter that are very specific and gives you an idea about this book. Because when this book comes out, you are going to want to grab it. You either are going to, either get it through audiobook, or you're going to get a physical copy of it, or you're going to just be buying some of the chapters as they're released. But this is some great stuff. I don't care what if you're in sports, it's great. You can really relate to it. But if you're in business, you're in sales, you're in your relationships, it doesn't matter. All these things which I have learned are applicable. My life story and these principles have tentacles that go into every area of your life. All right. So first thing you want to do when you are making that declaration of asking yourself the 3 questions is whatever it is that you are wanting to become, do, be, you must be very intentional, and you must be deliberate, and you must be specific. Quickly, okay? If you want to lose weight, put a specific number on it, put a specific date on it. If you want a position at a company, put a specific amount that you want to get paid, put a specific date that you're going to actually either go for the position or ask for the raise. Whatever it is, very, very, very specific. If you want to graduate from college, let's be very specific on what degree program you're going to go into. If you want to learn a new skill, give yourself a deadline on when you want this accomplished, because then you'll wake up every day with this idea of what you need to accomplish to hit that goal. Be very intentional, be very deliberate, be very specific. That's the first thing. Now, my understanding, this may go out there a little bit. My understanding is that when you start that process, you are now tapping into what I call the universal energy. And the universal energy looks at what you want, what that desire is. Then it takes in 2 things very important. It takes in the intensity of that desire, and it actually takes in the belief and the faith of that desire. That's what brings things into alignment, where you start to see things like, oh my goodness, look at what's happening. It's because you actually believe it. If you don't believe it, why would you get rewarded for something that you don't even believe in? Take that into account. Why would you be rewarded for something that you do not fully believe in? That's ludicrous. That's asinine. That's ass backwards. All right. So in the it's in I don't know if it's physics or what, I'm not sure, but there is the law of conservation of energy, thermodynamics. All right. They say that energy is always present. It is not created and it's not destroyed, meaning that it's here. It's always been here. So once you take that into consideration, the understanding is when you want something, that idea that you come up with is not new. It's always been here. The energy for that idea has always been here. It's not new because it never died. It is always here. Now just take that into consideration and understand is that I believe that ideas find you when you are ready to take on that idea. Now, let's look at this a little bit deeper. You have this idea, like for instance, hey, I want to be a professional baseball player. Now I got this idea in my head. Now people go, well, they talk themselves out of it. The fact of the matter that you had that idea means that if you stay on course with what it is that you're going to do, or what it is that you are wanting to be, do, or have, if you follow the course, you're going to end up at your destination. Now, some people will go, well, I'm 5'2" and all this other stuff like that. I understand that. If you really wholeheartedly believe that it can actually happen in your life within reason, you follow that path. Because if you can have that idea and you really believe, work yourself through it. All right. Now, what may end up happening is you may not become exactly that, but you're going to be something that is equivalent to that as far as how you can maximize your life and maximize your skills. So it's always in your best interest that when you come in an idea, follow it all the way through to the end until it gets to a point where it's just like, you know what, I can't take this any further. But you have to activate on that, because once you have that idea, it's telling you, move forward with it. Something great's going to happen with it. Okay, that's the correction I made. Something great's going to come out of that, but you have to be actively in movement and thought and moving in that direction. All right. So again, like I said, the idea will find you when you're ready. Now, I had talked about this before in one of my other videos called the Mitchell Report. I'm just going to kind of revisit that. I was in high school. A classmate of mine and I made a declaration of what we were going to be. I said a professional baseball player. He said a doctor. Our lives separated and then converged at the point where we could revisit that conversation where he said to me, so you're a professional baseball player. And I said to him, so you're a doctor. It can be done. Now, I had the physical body to make that dream happen. Now, I just mentioned earlier in this video is that may not always be the case, but what's going to happen is you're going to move in a way that is going to be super, super beneficial to you, and I believe the rest of the world, when you start pursuing an idea that you really, really believe in. All right. So that was really great to meet Mitch down the road. Because then what I ended up breaking down later on in this chapter is what I call the journey to greatness. And what I did was I chronicled what I did, what went on in the process of me becoming an elite athlete, an elite pitcher, specifically for professional baseball. Now, there are some things that were very important because most people see me, okay, look, I fill up this screen. Okay, and if you met me in person, you would probably say, "Wow, you're a little taller than I thought," because I'm almost 6'3". So let me stand up straight. Okay, I'm standing up straight. I'm almost 6'3". All right. So this is what happens. Most people look at athletes, and especially if you have an opportunity. And I said this to somebody: if you have an opportunity, go to an NFL training camp. You will be absolutely blown away at how big those guys are and how they move to be 300 and something pounds and moving around like a cat. And you know, the average male is about 5'8", maybe 160, 65 pounds, 170 pounds. And here's a guy 6'6", okay, 280 pounds and moving around faster than you are, and he's twice your size. All right, so this is the misconception, is everyone thinks that during that journey, that process to when we're watching these athletes on TV, that it's just natural God-given ability and they're just going out there and just doing their thing. This is what they do not understand. I'm gonna give it to you in the order of how it operates. You have natural ability, all right? Okay, from that natural ability, as a pitcher, you must take that ability and then turn it into stress-free movement, because that keeps you away from injury. From that stress-free movement, you must be able to repeat that stress-free movement consistently. As a pitcher, if I can't do that, I'm going to be all over the place. But if I can do that, strike, 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 strike. I can do whatever I want with that baseball. All right? Then I must learn the knowledge of all those hitters that I'm facing. Most people don't take into consideration that as a pitcher, I must remember every sequence I had. Let's just say one game. I'm facing 9 different hitters. I must remember all 9 sequences that I had for that first round. Now the second round, I must remember that and then recall that information so I'm not repeating the same thing, because the hitter is doing the same thing. And if I go through the lineup the second time, now that hitter has two bits of information from me. Okay, he did this to me, he did that to me. Okay, I've pretty much seen everything. How do I approach him? Now I have to remember all 9 hitters plus the 2 times I went through. So I've got 18 different scenarios in my head, and now I got to pick the one and make sure that I'm not repeating something from another hitter. You see what I'm saying? Most people don't take that into consideration, and the hitter has to remember how he approached me the same way. All right, so that knowledge, then it has to be organized. Then I have to have the recall, what I showed you. Then I have to make sure that I am getting the proper rest, I'm having the proper nutrition so that I'm healthy and I can be out there at my maximum effort during the course of that game. And then the last thing is I must have the discipline to do all of that. That's what qualifies somebody as being an elite pitcher, and the money that they're getting paid for that. And then another thing that I brought into play is that somebody would say, well, if I was getting paid $30-something thousand, $30 million a year like Clayton Kershaw, well, I would make sure I would do this, and this. And I said, okay, I call bullshit on that. And why do I call bullshit on that? Hold on a second. Okay, here I am forgetting my lighting, and I got the refrigerator in the office making noise in the background. See, look at that little bit of light. Got the light coming in from the outside. Got some trees in there. It's not quite as bright, and the sun is off in the west. But I got a little light coming up in here. But here, back to what I'm talking about. Oh, if I was getting paid $30 million, I would do this, this, and this. And I call bullshit on that. Why? Because every one of those athletes that is now getting paid top dollar, okay, would do that, or they did that for free. That's how they got the contract. Because they were playing a game, a kid's game for free, playing it like a maniac as if they were getting paid $30 million. So I always call bullshit on that, because I said, if you have to say that and let that come out your mouth, you're not an elite athlete, because you're a hired gun, and that gets old. All right. There's no internal motivation. It's external, these dollars. Okay. The dollars are just great afterwards, but you're playing this game for the love of the game. And I will always defend the athlete in that regard. All right. So as I said that, all those things that I laid out, in all actuality, they're easy to do. But one of my online mentors, Jim Rome, rest his soul, he said, yep, those things are easy to do. But you know what? They're also easy not to do. That's why we have such a small percentage of these people playing at this level, getting that compensation, because the average person is not willing to do, I don't want to get up. Like this morning, I got up at 4:30. I did not want to get up at 4:30, but I got up anyway, alarm went off, boom. I was right into my day. All right. It's just the discipline of that. So it's easy to do, but a lot of people, it's easy not to do. All right. Activity plus discipline, repeated consistently over time. That is one of the formulas of success. It's the way that I describe it. Other people may describe it another way, but I say activity plus discipline, repeated consistently over time, is the formula for success. All right. What's your secret? Because we hear this all the time. We'll see somebody who fit like me. Oh, I'm getting fit. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? Man, I want to, because I joke with people and I say, man, whatever you're doing, I want that recipe, that eating, drinking, and everything. And I'm serious, because I'm trying to keep myself fit. I'm trying to get my sexy back on. All right. So people will go, man, what do you do to get yourself so fit and everything? And then this is what you do. You tell them, okay, you really want to know? Okay, I get up early in the morning. I exercise. I go to the grocery store. I've cut this out of my diet and everything. And I do this consistently. And you know what happens? Some people will try it, they'll stop. Or other people will look at that and go, ooh, that's a lot of work. Nah, that's okay. That just won't work for me. Yeah, it won't work for you. So that means you really don't want to be, you see my fit body, you wish I could just snatch it off me and give it to you, or we could just trade. No, you don't want to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? So that brings me to Dr. Eric Thomas. And he says this. He said, everybody wants to be a beast until it comes time to do what beasts do. I could have said it a different way, but I love the way he said it. People want the results, but they do not want to do the work that goes into the results. T.D. Jakes said it another way. He said, you know what? If you are on your way to where you're going to go and you're dressed in the way that you should be at your goal or your destination, you're going to have to answer some questions on the way. Understand what he's getting at. If you are dressed for where you're going to be as opposed to where you are, people will ask questions. Because where you are, you're inappropriately dressed for where you are. But the mindset is, I will dress, I will act, I will speak on how I'm going to speak at my destination. I'm not going to just be beholden to this moment and just try to get through this. No, I'm going to speak I'm going to speak the way that I should be speaking according to my destination. All right. I love that. Now, when we take that into consideration, I always ask this question. What is the difference between wanting something and expecting something? Now I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, what do you think? What is the difference between wanting and expecting? Well, my interpretation of that, and I hope we're on the same page, when you want something, that's a wish, that's a hope. You're not certain, but when you expect something, you start preparing for its arrival. Good example, woman being pregnant. She know that baby coming. Okay, so what am I doing? Getting my house in order, my finances in order, my job, whatever, all the things that we need for the expectation of the baby, crib, everything. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. So it doesn't, there is no, I'm hoping to be pregnant or what. No, you're pregnant. You either are pregnant or you're not pregnant. So you're either gonna, if you think you're pregnant, see that, you know what I'm saying? You plan a little bit differently. But if you know you're pregnant and you're looking at that stomach sticking out, there's a whole different preparation to that. So there's a difference between you wanting things, hoping, and then when you're expecting things like, a goal. I expect that to happen. Different behavior toward that goal. All right. So one of the most powerful things that I kept thinking about as I was in prison was, I am on my grind to be a better person. So as I'm on my grind to be a better person, who would I let down if I stopped? If I just gave up? If I just said, I'm not going to read anymore, or I'm not going to get up early. In prison, it was my family. I didn't have any children, so it was my mother. It was my grandmother. I wanted to make sure that I was the best person when I got out, so that the work that my mom and my grandmother put in life to bring me into this world would not go in vain. Now, me getting up in the morning, some days when I do not feel like getting up, I think about my son and daughter. And I said, I have to be successful because I am setting a standard for them. Now, follow me on this, okay? Success is action, okay? So me getting up in the morning, it is activating my plan. These two are depending on me. So if I drop the ball, then what it does, it gives them an excuse to drop the ball in life. He doesn't, he's not getting the things that he's sought after. He's not grinding. But when they see me grind, they say, the obstacles, okay? Because there's interruption. That's what I wanted to get at. There's interruptions. And anytime there's an interruption to our destination, you create a tool. If there's an obstacle in the way, you create a mental tool or you create a physical tool. Okay, let's just use this. I'm going through the woods, la, 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 la. I come out of the woods, and what do I see in front of me? A river. Too deep for me to swim because I'm not a good swimmer. Okay, I can't jump over it. It's too wide. What do? If I need to get across that river, well, then what do I need to do is I need to go get some tools and I need to build a bridge across that river. You see what I'm saying? So it would require me to acquire a skill of bridge building. Build a bridge across, however I'm going to do that, or I build a boat. Okay? So whatever it is, I'm either going to have bridge building skills or I'm going to have skills on how to build a boat. Either way, I need to get across there. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what the interruption is. It is going to create a tool unless you're a coward. Oh, that water too deep, and man, I don't feel like building it. I'm out. Deuces. I'm going. You see what I'm saying? So it builds strength. So anytime you have an interruption, it's going to build a tool that you're going to be able to use later on. That if you come to another creek or lake or whatever. Oh man, we built a boat before. Boom. We're going across. All right. So what I just said to you as what we're talking about was that has a lot to do with the what and how you actually build on solidifying that what, because then what happens after that is you come to the why, and the why is the purpose, the significance, the philosophy. Okay. I mentioned that before. I get up in the morning and there's sometimes I don't want to do anything, but I have what I call my philosophy is higher than my feelings. Doesn't matter what I feel like, I get up and get going. So whatever what it is that you are trying to get to, when you get to the why and you ask yourself why you want to get this, have this, be this, do this, it's because of whatever reason you have. And then right there, it must be so powerful that it's like, no, it doesn't matter what my feelings are. I'm going to get up and I'm going to get after it every single day. So that why has to be very powerful. All right. And so the last thing in the chapter is we start talking about imagination. And the way that I actually can convey that idea is speaking specifically that when you are in your imagination, it is more powerful and it's unlimited in its creation than your memory. Memory has limitations. The imagination is unlimited. But here's the catch. Neither one of them are today. I could hang in my memory all day long. Okay? I could hang in my memory all day long. I could hang in my imagination. Oh man, this is what I'm going to do. And in prison, man, I had a great memory. Boy, I was a baseball player. I met some, great people. I met some of the most beautiful women in the world. I traveled all over the world. I mean, I had the time of my life. Memory. Okay? Oh, man, I'm in prison right now, but you know what? I'm going to be an author. I'm going to be a college graduate. I'm going to be a business owner. I'm going to have some beautiful kids. And then I wake up and I'm right here. And that sucks. So, in the imagination, it's great. And you must have a solid picture that you can feel that this is what you're going to do. But you better bring your butt right back here today and get to working on that. Bring that memory. Yep, that's what I used to do. So I know I got some skills there. Oh man, this is my unlimited dream that I wanted. But you know what? It ain't gonna happen if I don't get busy today. Shawshank Redemption. Get busy living or get busy dying. All right. So all that put together, we've decided on the what. We've emotionally attached our why, meaning that our philosophy is over our feelings. We now can see in our imagination what this life or this thing is going to be and look like. And this is what happens. It creates very specific behaviors. Those behaviors turn into habits. Those habits turn into skills. Those skills create knowledge. That knowledge allows us as far as a level of execution. That execution creates character, and that character brings about a whole new destiny. We just changed our whole life from that. All right. Einstein has a quote. Now, where's that? Oh, it's in my hand right here. Einstein says, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. That's exactly what, when you ask yourself those three questions, you erase a lot of things and you bring in a whole new level of thinking. All right. So one of the things that, as I close with this, one of the things that it did with me was it rewrote the way that I thought about myself. I would say that I was special in the past, but then my pre-programming would say, no, you're a special ed student. You're goofy. You barely graduated from high school. Now you're a washed up, two-time surgery baseball player. You have no education. You're a flop. That's exactly but now as I began to put this new line of thinking in place, and then I started putting the action behind it. Got a college degree. Can't call me stupid anymore. I'm a business owner. I'm bringing in the money that I need to be successful. I got children. I'm being accountable. I'm being responsible. I'm doing all the things so I can then look at myself and go, man, I'm pretty special. I'm a special dude. I'm doing special things. And so this is what I want to share with you, because some of you, if you've looked at my other videos, man, I've come a long way. I've come a long way. If you think you've hit bottom, I hit bottom. So I'm now here to tell you at the end of this video is that if you stayed this long, you can do this is not just some bullshit motivational. I'm telling you, because I lived it. And if I know that I can get through it, I'm not any more special. It's just that I took the things that I knew and I applied them. I'm getting out of this. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of living like this. So I put it all together. So my challenge to you is, just like this chapter, ask yourself those three questions. What do I want? Why do I want them? And can I see those? All right. Take this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, share this with somebody. Because I know if you read through this message again or listen to this video again, there will be something in here that you're going to say, you know what? I know somebody that this would benefit. Okay. Somebody, a coach, player, a friend, whatever, this will benefit them. All right. So again, like this page, subscribe to this channel, share this video. All right. This is Carlton Hamilton. This is Plan Your Greatness. And I'm going to say this again. Plan your greatness. Why? Because no one else will. All right. I will see you guys all next time.